Hey, here we are.
Hello.
Hello. I am Inkatone, and that is
Dragon or Alistair or the Hat. I have too many names. So call me whatever you want to. Not whatever you want to, because that would be, I suspect there'd be some profanities in there. But pick from the list.
pick from the list. Well, welcome back to the InkDragon Podcast, everyone. It has been, I was going to make a reference, and now I'm not going to because I don't even know if it's a good reference. It's been, oh my God. I can't remember the exact quote. It's something about it's been so many days since my last confession. Uh, uh, Oh my God, whatever. I've ruined it. Hi, welcome back to me ruining jokes and quoting things terribly.
That was so good.
See, we're already off to a good start.
What a clean and professional intro, I must
Um,
say.
Thank you. Yeah, I worked
Incredible.
really hard on that. I actually practiced that ahead of time, so you should be really impressed.
I think next time maybe we should practice ahead of time. I think maybe that's the thing to work on for next time, because that was horrendous.
Anyways, we are talking about some stuff today.
No
Alistair only
way.
has
Are
a
we
little bit.
really?
Alistair only knows a little bit about it. We are swapping. I don't know if we talked about this. We're swapping off planning for these things. So like 1 month it'll be him, 1 month it'll be me, and it is my month. And I'm a little looser with it too. But I am excited because we have a lot of adaptation news to talk about this month. Some of it I think you'll be excited for. Some of it I think you'll be annoyed by. Um, Yeah, let's. I'm just gonna jump right into it. We can start with the one you know about, Project Hail Mary.
Okay, I think I might know I might know one of them, but I definitely know Project Hail Mary.
Yeah,
Have you read the Project Hail Mary book? I don't know if I've asked you this.
like a long time ago. It's a funny story. It actually got stolen from me when I was on a trip to Africa.
Oh, with the monkey shenanigans. No, not monkey. I made that up.
No.
The door
Um.
was unlocked.
So yeah, there was a really bad thing that happened, and then I forgot to lock my door because I was in shock, and then I got robbed. That was fun. I'm not gonna dive into that story. Point is, I had that book with me, and it was stolen, and I was halfway through it.
But you finished it.
I did eventually finish it. Yes.
I mean, that's the most important thing. Not if you're okay, not if anything important got robbed. Just did you finish Project Hail Mary? That's the key thing. And you did, so everything's fine. Life's good.
Yes. And it was a little while ago, though, so just be aware of that.
I also read it a while ago, but when I read it, I adored it. It's one of my top books ever, 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 ever. So
Oh, okay.
this adaptation was scary, because there's nothing more scary than when they adapt something you love, because
Mm.
they could fuck it up. In fact, they're quite good at that. Movie people.
Yeah, they are. Unfortunately, not many adaptations make it well.
No. But this one did. I think they did a good job.
Wow, do
There
we
are
agree on
issues with it.
this?
There are issues with it, and it's massively. People are going crazy. They're like, "Whoa, it's the best
Mm.
movie ever! Oh my god!" It's given what they had to work with. It's quite a reasonable drop from there.
Mm. Yeah,
But it was always
I
going to be.
I really, really enjoyed the movie. I think that personally, I'm a really big fan of The Martian and the adaptation for that. I feel like Matt Damon can do no wrong, um, and so I really was just really critical of this going into it, and I was pleasantly surprised. I wasn't like you were saying. It's not like a lot of people were freaking out about it. It wasn't like the best movie I've ever seen, but it was a really good movie.
But you think it's worse than the book. That's a crucial
Yes, I do.
point.
I do think it's worse.
Thank God, because we would have fought, and it wouldn't have been pretty.
Did so who was it who disagreed with you? Was that Preacher?
Preacher thinks the movie's better.
That's
All
right.
of his opinions about this piss me off. They genuinely annoy me because he's so loud and so wrong. There's too much
Mm,
science in the. It's a science fiction book. That's half the words. Is there too much
yeah.
fiction in it as well?
Yeah. I love the sciencey stuff. I love like I like to geek out over things like that. I love space in general, so if it's like nerdy space stuff, I get even more excited. Um, so I love that, and it's a big win for me. And I don't like when they take stuff like that out.
That was one of my problems with the movie. The movie, it felt to me, took quite a bit of the science out. It was a
Mm.
very dumbed down movie.
Yeah,
I don't want to say that the average movie watcher is less intelligent than the average reader, but the movie was created in such a way that if the average movie watcher was less intelligent than the average reader, it would work for the average movie watcher. That's
I
all
think
I'm going to
a good,
say.
I think a good way to put it too. I think that a lot of people who love movies and go see movies, like that crowd of people, their attention spans are not as long as the attention span of people who love to sit and dig into books like that. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that either. Some people just like other entertainment mediums more. You and I are readers, so obviously we feel like there's one that's superior. But um, I don't necessarily see it as bad. I do think that it has caused that, like with this one in other adaptations in the past, things to get cut that should not have been cut. And it's just unfortunate.
Yeah. No, it's definitely dumbed down, and for people with short attention spans like Preacher Reads, who just they struggle, and so you need this nice simple thing for their little brains to work out.
Well, okay. I wasn't meaning to take a dig at Preacher. But I mean,
You said
hey,
it, not me.
love you, Preacher. I appreciate your opinion, and I hope that you can appreciate mine. I'm sorry for giving this person more fuel against you.
This
Which,
person.
by the way, I keep gesturing over here. What side am I on for you?
You're on. You're gesturing in the right direction for me,
Okay, cool. I think
but
last time
I
I
might
gestured to
edit it
you.
so that you're on the other side, and then you'll look like an idiot throughout the podcast.
Cool. I think that happened last time. So,
Oh no.
uh, anyways, yeah. So I appreciate. I'm glad that it did well. It seems to be doing well. I think a lot of those types of books need to get adapted more, and hopefully, as they get adapted more, they'll get better and better. I do think that The Martian did better about not cutting out a lot of like some. Not obviously not everything made it through, but I feel like The Martian did better about not cutting some stuff. Um,
I think that is true,
mm,
but I also think it was easier in The Martian not to cut stuff because
mm,
I'm going to say it's a little shorter. I don't know if that's true. It feels a little shorter. And Project Hail Mary has this kind of memory loss thing going on and a
yeah,
lot of internal monologue that's really, really, really hard for them to do. And they didn't do a particularly good job of doing it, in my view.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But the screenplay was written by the same person. Fun fact.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
Huh.
That's when I had faith for the adaptation, was when I looked at that and I was like, they did a good job with The Martian. They'll do a good job with Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, that's cool to know that.
Mm,
Yeah. Well,
there you
speaking
go.
of science fiction adaptations, did you see? I think you probably saw the trailer for Dune 3.
No, I've actually been
No.
actively avoiding it because I hate trailers.
Oh, I didn't know you didn't like trailers.
I think they're so stupid because you watch the trailers and then you know what happens. For example, perfect example, the Project Hail Mary trailer, there's a massive spoiler.
There are good trailers and there are bad trailers. Unfortunately, to market people to come out and see something that costs millions of dollars to make, you have to have trailers. But we don't have to talk about that one a lot. Are you excited about the movie though?
I am. I'd be interested in your thoughts on the trailer because then I can live vicariously through you.
Well, I don't know. So okay, that's the thing. I thought the trailer was kind of bland. I see. I was iffy. It was like, oh, the first Dune movie was okay. The second one was fantastic. I loved the second Dune. Um, Part 3 just is looking kind of I don't know. I need to see it. I'm gonna see it and like decide after I see it. But I didn't love the trailer.
The first Dune movie was okay.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, the first Dune movie is the second best movie of all time.
So I don't know. The best thing about it for me was Oscar Isaac. I love him. Um, One of my favorite actors. But
Yeah,
other than that,
he is nice to
it
look
was
at.
just. But other than that, it's just kind of like I was bored a lot.
You've read the book,
Second,
right?
I have, I have DNF'd it like 6 times at varying lengths read. I think I got 2/3 of the way through it once. I keep getting bored of it.
I mean, the first movie I would say is more faithful to the book, and it's slow. I'll allow that it's slow, but I think it's a very strong adaptation. I think if you've read the book, it's a very enjoyable movie, unless you've DNF'd the book 6 times, in which case I can see why you might have issues with the movie, given
Yeah,
that it's fairly
sorry.
faithful.
Who was it? I saw funny side story. I've never talked about it around here. My sister, um, she makes music. And she background for me, we come from the world of ministry and Christian stuff. And my sister and my parents all do Christian music, and also my sister has now started making not Christian music. And she's posting. She did the song. It was like talking about like vampires, but like equating it to people who suck the life out of you. Um, and someone commented on her one of her posts, uh, basically like bashing her for writing a song about vampires if she's supposedly a Christian. And I click on the dude's page, and he has a Dune quote in his bio, and it's literally a story about how like messianic figures and chosen ones are bad. And I I uh I responded very kindly and did not at all make him feel like an idiot.
I do like responding to hate comments.
Yeah, it was funny. I feel like if you're gonna leave hate comments and say something specifically about like, in this sense, a Christian making non-Christian music or whatever, you can't then have an example of you doing the exact same type of thing, enjoying content that's not Christian and having it's. Well, anyways, it's a whole. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole for this podcast, but I thought that was so stupid, and this talking about this reminded me of it.
I was very much wondering where you were going with that story
Yeah,
for a bit,
yeah.
but
Sorry,
it tied in.
it tied in. It was a Dune quote, and I got likes for that response. So I felt like I had a good snap back. I never do. I don't ever think of things. So, uh, anyways,
Did you
moving
ratio the
on.
comment?
Did I ratio the comment? I feel really old right now. I don't know what that means.
Oh my god, you're old. Let's move on. That's terrible. What do you mean you're not
Anyways,
that old?
what does that mean?
Oh, oh my. We're going to do a podcast where I just explain life to you. It uh, it means you got more likes than the comment you're replying to.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I did that. Yes.
You're actually
Anyways,
ancient. Oh my god.
whatever. Moving on. We you might like this, you might not. I don't know if you'll give a crap, but I thought it was funny the person who's attached to it. We're getting a Lord of the Rings sequel, and Stephen Colbert is working on it.
I am not a massive Lord of the Rings fan,
I know.
but I am pissed off on behalf of myself and on behalf of Lord of the Rings fans about this because there's so much wrong. Firstly, nobody wants more Lord of the Rings stuff. I feel as though even the Lord of the Rings fans are like, we've had a very good adaptation. We've had a terrible TV show. Stop poking. Is his name John? It is John.
Yeah.
Stop poking John in his grave. Let the man rest. Let the legacy rest. Leave it alone. Secondly, why the fuck is Stephen Colbert involved?
He's like a super, super uber Lord of the Rings nerd. Like, he knows all, like, the lore, all of the bits. He, like, has shown himself to be more knowledgeable about it than the actors from the movies and, like, interviews and stuff. And so they supposedly did it, I assume, because they want to, like, be more faithful to what Tolkien's work was. I don't know. I'm so confused by. I don't know. I don't
like
even
a
get what it's going to be
consultant.
about. They're also recasting Aragorn.
Well, are they not recasting everyone?
No, they're not. As far as I'm aware, some of the cast is returning.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I don't know how much of the cast is returning, but
they'll be old.
yeah,
It's a time.
I do think. I mean, like, Tolkien intended. He had work on a, like, sequel that he had done. Like, I don't know though. I can't remember the whole story. I've not read. I don't know if it is available to actually read anywhere. But he started working on the sequel, and then he passed away. And I remember it had something to do with, like, years gone by, and, like, in Gondor, like, a cult starts to rise up. And I don't know. It was like a whole thing. I remember reading about it online once. I doubt they're going to touch that.
I think
I
they're
have
just
to
going to
send you the.
do things.
I think that there. I will say, I think there is Tolkien stuff out there that could be adapted and it'd be, like, amazing. I think Beren and Luthien would be a great example. Which do you know what that is?
I didn't realize you were this much of a Lord of the Rings nerd, to be honest.
Tolkien is one of my big inspirations for, like, why I started writing. Funny thing is, I don't actually love his, like, his. I love the movies, and I really, really love the Silmarillion. Um,
You hate people who say they love the Silmarillion. No, you don't. No, you
I
do not.
do. I found it so interesting. Also, it very much mirrors the Bible in some ways. So, like on like a Christian perspective, I think that's part of why I'm interested in it.
I can't be rude about that. So you've won that one.
Well, it's a I'm doing this podcast with you because part of the fun is that we are so different. So talk about what you want to talk about. It's fine.
I mean, I don't know anything. I haven't even read the Silmarillion. I don't know what I'm hating, but I just feel as though it's not good. In my mind, anyone who likes the Silmarillion needs a life. The fact that you have a wife and like the Silmarillion, crazy combination.
Look, I don't know how to explain that one.
No, I mean it is one
Um,
of the world's great mysteries.
it's look, the Silmarillion is really cool. I really like. Okay, the opening section. It very much. I'm sorry. Okay, it very much mimics Genesis in a lot of ways from the Bible, and that caught my attention. But also, it was written much more. I don't want to say that interestingly. Like, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna. I am at risk of
It
diving
was more
into full.
interesting than the Bible. You heard it here
I
first.
love the Bible from a theological perspective. However, it is extremely dry to read. You don't read the Bible because, I mean, okay, people read the Bible to enjoy it. I am not a person who reads the Bible to enjoy it. I read it because it's important to my faith.
So, sorry, you think the Bible is dry to read, but the Silmarillion is wet to read? Because they both feel dry to me. Having read neither of them. Did
You
you not
should
like that
read.
turn of
Okay,
phrase?
no, I did not. I I'm giving you an assignment. Read. Let's see. Read Genesis 1 and the first 5 pages of the Silmarillion and see what I'm talking about. I've never talked to anyone I knew for a fact is not going to do that more than right now talking to you.
I mean, I can I can think of worse things to do with my time, but very few.
I think that it would be um more enjoyable than you think. However, not because of the reasons it's enjoyable for me.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. The other thing
Yeah.
that annoys me about this adaptation, by the way, is that there are
Yes.
so many original works out there sitting
Mhm.
on the shelves waiting to be adapted, and they're adapting The Lord of the Rings again. I mean, differently, but like they're just like dragging it up
Yeah, I
because the
don't
name
get
will
it.
make money.
There's so many adaptations I want. Speaking of adaptations I want, Dungeon Crawler Carl with Seth MacFarlane, if I can get that out of my mouth. Seth MacFarlane attached. That is such a like bizarre but fitting combination to me.
That So the news about Dungeon Crawler Carl adaptation has got worse and worse because when it first came out, we knew that Seth MacFarlane was attached, and that was great. That was brilliant. And then about a month ago, we found out it was live action. Despise, hate, heinous crime, so wrong.
What?
Why do you look surprised? Don't tell me you disagree with me on this.
I think it would be funny to see it in live action.
No, you're not.
As long as it has the budget that it needs to look good. If they have a crap budget for it, just stop and go animation.
It's not. It doesn't work. There are so many strange, bizarre things. I don't want to get into spoilers, but he's squishing things with his feet. it's not going to look good in live action. It just isn't. How do you make that look good in live action?
You
It needs to be
underestimate
animated.
artistic license.
It's too weird for live action. It's too, like, unhinged.
I do think that with Seth attached, they missed the opportunity to go full Family Guy with DCC. I do think that it could have done well like that. I will say, especially with him attached. However, I don't hate that it's going to be live action.
I do. I despise it. It's the worst decision ever made. And I think it shows a genuine misunderstanding of the original text that also concerns me, because anyone who reads Dungeon Crawler Call, they think it should be animation. But animation is less monetarily money. So they're doing live action. That's my view of it. It's about the money and not about the art, and that concerns me deeply.
They can always do what they did with the Warcraft movie and make it live action, but most of it's animated anyways.
I am not nerdy enough to even know that there was a Warcraft movie.
Really?
Correct.
When did that come out? I do think
Probably
that... Wait.
a while ago.
Bothering me. Yeah.
He's off to Google.
Warcraft
Let me talk to you
movie.
guys. Ignore him.
2016.
So, I was too young.
It was interesting. The guy from Vikings was in it. And then some other people.
There are generally other people in movies. So
Yes.
that sounds familiar. Weren't they in they were in that Marvel movie as well? Other people?
Yeah. Anyways, no, that's a whole thing. I felt like they picked the wrong thing for that adaptation, so I'm not even going to talk about it. They had other opportunities they could have gone with story-wise, and I'm sad about it. But, yeah, DCC.
So, how do we feel about Peacock? I don't know anything about Peacock. I'm too British for this. Are they good?
I like Peacock. I watch The Voice on it.
Okay.
And my wife watches Law and Order SVU on it.
Neither of these has filled me with hope.
It's also the home of the Office spinoff.
I didn't know there was an Office spinoff.
Called The Paper. You haven't? Oh,
okay.
It's funny. It's not as good as The Office, but Oscar is back for it, and like other things. I need to finish it.
I feel as though The Office had enough seasons, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like a whole new thing. It's instead of like a paper company, it's about like a newspaper, because newspapers are dying out.
Cool.
Anyways, Peacock is one of the streaming services. One of the most streaming service to ever streaming service.
You're not filling me with hope at all. Like, I think they did a Brave New World adaptation that was terrible.
No.
I'm Googling it now.
Was that Peacock?
Maybe it wasn't Peacock. Maybe it was someone else. It was someone American. It was Peacock. I'm a genius. Well, to be fair, I did look up Peacock Brave New World, so maybe it's lying to me. It is Peacock. I'm so smart. I'm so smart.
What is... Oh, I thought you were talking about... Is that Klaus Michelson?
I don't know who Klaus Michelson is, but he's not in the list of starring people.
That is a character that the actor played, not Joseph Morgan. Did you
That
ever
is
watch
Joseph
Vampire
Gordon.
Diaries?
No, I'm sensing that you did.
I did. And he played a character named Klaus Michelson, and that is all I saw when I saw his face. Um, by the way, the originals is Peak Television. It's a spinoff of The Vampire Diaries, and no one ever talks about it enough, and it's very good. That's all I'm going to say. Moving on.
It looks terrible.
I'm a
Oh,
little
it gets
chaotic
an
today.
8.2 on IMDb. Oh my
The
god.
originals?
Okay, sorry, moving on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, I have three smaller things adaptation-wise to talk about, and we can move on. I'm gonna mention this first one. I don't think you're gonna give a crap about it, so I just want to mention it. So I'm excited about it. It's Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord. It's not really an adaptation; it's just sci-fi, but it's like a spin-off of Star Wars stuff. So it's a whole thing. Anyways, I'm excited about it. Starting this coming week. Hopefully, it's good. You don't care about Star Wars, right?
It's a TV show?
Um, yeah, Maul Shadow Lord is a TV show, animated. You like animation?
Animated, okay.
Yeah,
I like animation when it's right for animation.
it's actually okay. I'm curious what you would think. It's very. I'll send you the trailer after this. We can chat separately. Um, the other, this one is an adaptation that I wanted to mention. Season 4 of Invincible has started and is ongoing, and it is. I just watched the most recent episode last night, and I was so disgusted. I had to take like 20 minutes afterwards to calm my stomach down.
It was
um,
bad?
it was disgusting, but it was very good.
Okay. It
But I
wasn't
was very
disgusting
grossed
in a
out.
like, why have they done this to my beautiful Invincible? It was like
No, no, no,
gross.
no.
Okay.
It was disgusting, as in, I don't want to watch this person's intestines get ripped out of their stomach very slowly.
I don't know where you'd be. I've only seen season 1, but I feel like that is a theme going on. In
This was the
fairness.
worst I've ever seen it. Also, I think that the two characters involved are hilarious because of the voice actors attached to them and their history in another show,
What show?
The Walking Dead.
That is something I need to watch.
You haven't watched The Walking Dead? Okay. That I 100% recommend up until I need to find this season. There's like a certain point where it's like, okay, don't watch this anymore.
I swear they've had like 2 seasons. Am I stupid?
The Walking Dead?
Am I talking about something different?
The zombie show?
Something like a post-apocalyptic thingy.
Because The Walking
Okay.
Dead had like 8 or no, how many seasons did it have? And there's
No,
like
okay.
4 spin-offs.
It has 11 seasons.
Oh yeah.
So I'm a liar.
You should watch it. It is good. It's very violent.
Oh, I was thinking of The Last of Us, which is not the same thing.
Oh, well, I can see why the confusion would come from with that though. I
Yeah.
watched the first season of that. I didn't like love it or anything, but it was good. Okay. Last adaptation, because we have other stuff to talk about. Fablehaven. I don't think you ever did you ever read Fablehaven when you were younger, by chance?
Brandon Mull?
Yes.
I've never read
Okay.
that.
So I'm excited about it because I just happened to get the whole like box set of the series again because I wanted to like reread and then read the sequel series as an adult. And it's part of my middle grade thing I'm doing this year. But it's a really fun series, and I'm really happy it's getting adapted. I'm a little iffy about as it's being done by Angel Studios, which is interesting. They do a lot of like Christian stuff and things like that. So they've had some good quality stuff, but some of it's also not. So I don't know. I want to see how it goes. I'm hoping that it's done well because I love the series.
I don't know that I've heard of Angel Studios.
Is there a quick Google search away? There's this kind of like, let me see if there's anything they've done that you would know. Angel Studios.
They have not.
Uh,
Looking at their Wikipedia page, no idea what
yeah,
these
their
are.
biggest. Yeah. Okay. Wow. They are. Yeah, the biggest thing they've done is The Chosen, which is
Yeah,
like,
I don't know what that is. They did the Animal Farm, animated Animal Farm.
did they?
Well, they will be doing. It's not out yet.
Yeah, they were
I
doing a
despise that
Christian.
movie.
They're
I'm not. I mean, it's not out, but I despise it. It looks like one of the worst things ever created.
what I'm understanding, they have been doing like all Christian stuff, and then they're now expanding to like family friendly across the board.
Yeah, 1984 is not family friendly. This is my problem with this adaptation. It looks like it's going to be like Rainbow Sunshine, like oh, we're cute little animated animals. That is not what 1984 is about. Have you touched the book? Have you even read the blurb?
I have never read it, so
Okay, well, you're in the same boat as everyone involved in the adaptation.
good to know. I will not be watching it, so I'm gonna give the Fablehaven adaptation a chance, but it needs to be good, or I'm gonna be very upset. Okay, well, that's all the adaptation stuff that I had written down to talk about, unless you can think of anything else you want to chat about adaptation-wise.
Oh, just that. I didn't even know some of those were a thing, so that was fun for me.
Yeah. Yeah, cool, I'm glad. Let's talk about stuff we've read since the last episode. I mentioned it to you before, am literally in like the last 30 pages of Catabasis, finally. You know this one has been a journey of months for me. Um, and I am fully out of the I'm bored thing. I had a whole moment where I was like was it like the first half of the book? I was really struggling with it because I kept getting bored. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, hey, this is like emotionally heart wrenching. Let's lean into that. And then I was totally in. Um, really, really loving it. I reread the first Fablehaven book. It was like not the best reading month for me because I've had a million and one things happening. I've been behind on all of my content on every single platform.
Sure.
It's very unfortunate. I'm going to be getting caught up. I made a priority for this podcast because I'm doing it with my friend and I want to stay on top of it. I read Golem Master, which was a fun indie read let me pull up my actual list so that I can talk about it well. Golem Master by TJ Lombardi. It's kind of like Gundam meets Pokemon. It's the best way I
Okay.
can describe it. It's definitely like, I don't know if it would be considered like YA or middle grade. It's definitely not geared for like super mature readers, but it was fun. It was really fun. I enjoyed it.
That's important.
I read The Desperate Mission, which is book one of Star Wars: The Last of the Jedi, which is a short read by Jude Watson. It was a lot of fun. I guess another middle grade series I read when I was younger. I read a new lit RPG. I started a new lit RPG series. Only the first book is out right now. It's called Ceaseless Horizons. That was a really basic kind of reincarnation lit RPG story where like someone wakes up in another world where there's a system like DCC or whatever has their system, but this is like on another planet. It was that kind of basic and known premise done well. Like, it was done very well, but it was nothing like new. But I enjoyed it. Sometimes I like to just read those things because I know what I'm going to get when I pick up a story like that, and sometimes I just want that.
You read a lot of lit
And
RPG. To be fair.
I have phases. And then my favorite book of the month for March was Grave Peril by Jim Butcher. That is Dresden Files. Really, 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 really like that. I don't understand how later books are supposed to get so much better because I've loved the first 3 books. So I'm really interested to see how it goes and gets better than that.
It does get better. I'm confused as to why you're so hyped about the first 3, though. So maybe it won't get better for you.
It's okay.
It gets less sexist.
We'll see what happens. That's good. That's very
It
good.
does
That's
get
been my
less
main
sexist.
issue with it.
A little bit less sexist. There are less opportunities for him to be sexist as the books go on, I feel.
Yeah. That has been my main issue with the books, so I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, people say, "Oh, it's intentional," but it's unnecessary. What have I read this month?
Yeah, go ahead. What have you read in March? I am done. Yes, I was about to say I'm done.
Okay.
So
I reread Death of the Author, which was, I mean, it's an incredible book. And then I had a chat on Hathaway Ever After about that book, which was very interesting and fun. And I think I'm going to just force various creators to read books so that I can then have like hour-long conversations with them about the books. So you better get reading Grace of Kings, bucko.
I found my copy, so I will do that soon. I had packed it all away because I thought I was moving, and then it didn't happen. So
it's ready. It's ready to be read. I finished Dungeon Crawler Carl, at least the released books. I have, as the series goes on, I have developed issues a little bit. So I'm interested to see where we go, but it has begun to feel a little repetitive in that we're just doing the same thing again.
That's lit RPG. That's like the big issue with the genre. So that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel as though maybe we could have done 5 books instead of 10. 10 is a lot. 10 is a lot.
And you think that's a lot? Oh my god! Some of these lit RPG series out there are so long for no goddamn reason. Let me see. The longest one I know of, I think, is how many books in that one? Fights of the Fall. Let's see. They're at hello, good 17 books.
Okay, that's pretty long. Yeah. Are they long books?
Yeah, they're pretty chunky.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I did find this with Cradle as well. Felt a little bit repetitive. I know that's not the RPG, but it's progression fantasy.
It's
right?
very similar. So
Yeah.
a lot of that progression lit RPG stuff, they all follow similar tracks with a lot of the tropes and like commonalities to the genres. Just kind of the framework around them is usually different. Like a lot of progression is very inspired by like Chinese mythology and stuff. as one example.
Interesting. When are we getting your lit RPG or progression fantasy book?
Mine? Did I tell you about one?
No.
Here.
Have you got one planned though?
InkDragon Podcast exclusive. If I can find the cover that I made for it.
Of course he has one planned. Of course he has a cover as well. This man just makes covers. He doesn't bother with the books. Well, he does actually bother with the books, but he just makes covers.
I gotta find it. I don't know if I saved it on my phone. I'm doing I have a couple different ideas. The one that I'm liking the most is a Monster Evolution lit RPG.
I knew there'd be a lit RPG in his backlog. I'm a genius.
Maybe it's on Canva. I think it's right on Canva. As long as my account was not deleted. While we're talking about it. Yeah. So funny. That's really funny that you said that, and now this is a conversation that we're having. It's literally in the most basic, oh, this is maybe gonna happen phase.
Yeah, alongside 40 other things.
Yes, alongside 40 other things. Well, while I'm trying to find this cover, you can continue with your month.
I read a lot of books. We won't go through all of them. Okay. I read the next 2 books in the Wayward Children series by Seanan McGuire, which I love. Okay. I adore the series. It's about kids who've been into fantasy worlds down portals. Various portals, like through doors in trees or in the kind of style of Narnia or Alice in Wonderland. And then they've come back from those adventures and they're placed into this home, essentially.
Okay.
For wayward children who have disappeared and kind of want to find those worlds again and are having trouble integrating back into society. And so you have these really bizarre kids who had these really weird experiences and adapted to these strange cultures, trying to live again in the world. But they also constantly want to disappear back down their rabbit hole or through their wardrobe. It's such a whimsical series of novellas. There's so much whimsy. I love whimsy. It's so good. It's so good. I also read A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is...
You did?
Which is something I needed to read.
I'm glad that you did. Wait, okay, what did you think of it?
I have a lot of thoughts about it. Enough to fill a 20-minute video that I filmed yesterday.
Okay, so we're not talking about it. Go watch the video.
Well, the summary is, I thought it was much, much better than Fourth Wing. And not as good as Crescent City, which is her adult romantasy series.
Yeah.
I don't know if A Court of Thorns and Roses is adult, actually. It felt very YA, but then it was kind of smutty. And sometimes people don't like smut in YA. So who knows where they placed it.
Yeah, that's an interesting... it's an interesting one to place, I would say. Oh, I found the cover.
Yay!
It's really basic. Really, really, really basic, because I just wanted something flat I can use, and then because I'll be doing it on Royal Road and not on Amazon. So I'll be serialized, and then it will be eventually put into volumes. Anyways, super, 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 super basic. Is that backwards for you?
No. No.
Yeah, it's called Scorn.
We can put a photo in the video very professionally in editing.
True. Yeah, it's called Skarn, a Monster Evolution lit RPG. About a guy who's reincarnated into another world, but he is a monster. He's a wolf pup who's born maimed, missing a paw, and has to grow up without a pack in a forest and become powerful on his own, and yada yada.
Yada yada.
So
That's the bit
yada yada.
you've not done yet.
Yeah. I know that his progression is going to be based on Finrare, like
Why
from
would I
Norse
know who that
mythology.
is?
Yeah. So,
Yes.
so I'm excited about that. Anyways,
That is exciting.
uh,
I'm excited for
so
that.
that's
Coming 2028, confirmed.
yeah,
By me.
definitely not this year. I have too much else going on, but we'll see when that comes out. Anyways, and then what else have you? Do you have more to talk about? Books that you read?
Carmilla, which is like an OG vampire book.
Yeah, I have heard of it.
It's very, very short. I didn't expect it to be so short, but it's very good. And it's interesting.
Okay.
I'm very interested in vampires. So it's nice to go back and see where it all kind of starts out.
Yeah.
And I read another book. What was it called? To ride something. What was it called?
This?
Oh, I've never seen that in my life. No, it wasn't that. No. Yeah, I read To Ride the Wind by this bloke called Denver C. Binion,
So this is the first
so
person
known as
who's
Ink and Tome.
the first person that I know and I'm talking to who has finished this book and finished reading it. So
Oh, genuinely?
you know, yeah.
Oh
I
no,
know other people that are reading
that's
it.
so
Like
much pressure.
Kyle's been reading it and telling me about it as he reads. But you're the first person I know who has finished it completely, and I'm not talking to about it. Also, don't feel like you have to say nice things because I just said that. Because if you didn't like it, I can talk about that too.
I kind of already told you that. I wouldn't say I didn't like it, but I didn't like it as much as your previous works.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you knew that this would happen, in fairness.
I did. I've been saying that it would happen.
Yeah, and I was like, no, because I like novels more than novellas, generally. Mm-hmm. So I'll prefer a novel. And it turns out that you were right about your own book. Crazy.
I just know that you don't necessarily love this kind of story.
Yeah. I think I should explain so that people aren't like, oh, I'm not going to read this book. I this, like, I love dragons and wyverns and flying on the back of creatures and mythical creatures in general. But I do also hate this style of, like, it's I think it's fair to say it's Aragon like.
Yes.
And that's okay. But as someone who despised Aragon, it wasn't looking good from the start.
Yes.
It there are lots of good elements to it. It's, I will say, very readable and quite bingeable in a similar manner to Dungeon Crawler Carl, in that, like, I just found myself flying through it. And that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very good. Does it follow some tropes that I find a little tired? Maybe. But lots of people love those tropes. The reason I find them tired is because lots of people love those tropes, and so they're in lots of books. And so I've read lots of books with those tropes in, and I no longer like those tropes. But lots of people still do like those tropes, and that's amazing, and that's great. And there are lots of positive things about this book. The character work is wonderful.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Your character work's always, I would say, good. And the dialogue is strong. It felt a little bit less funny to me than the previous works, but maybe
Yeah.
that's
It's less
intentional.
banter and more, oh my god, we need to live and survive.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. I love banter. So
Don't worry, you'll get more of that with the other symbols.
Sunwolves
Okay.
is fantastic. This is good, but is pitched. It's like you picked all the things that I complained about and then went, let's target that. And I think I can see a lot of people loving this book. I am not necessarily the right person for it. And that's okay.
Okay. Let's talk about a couple of specific things. What did you think of like the mythological stuff with like the dragons in the beginning and that backdrop?
I enjoyed it. I don't know, what was your like inspiration behind that?
Nothing really in particular. I was kind of so drakes as a whole have a place in my larger mythos for my like joint universe. And so the ones that are in like the prologue or prelude, whatever the heck I call it, um, they are specifically drakes from events that happened within the larger mythos that I will probably be explored at some point. Um, but like they're considered on the same level as like a deity, like a god, but like they're a living mortal creature at that power level. That's really it. I just wanted to, first of all, create gods, but make it mortal creatures that are very powerful because they're also tied into the whole mess with the dragons and the wyverns within the book. You know, like how wyverns have lost. Well, spoil. I guess if you don't want to get spoiled, skip some. Um, like okay, dragons can still breathe fire, right? In the book,
Yeah.
that is because, and the epilogue, you saw one of those four from the prelude still there and imprisoned. So there's a male and female deity of each of the different drakes, and both one of them is tied to a certain aspect of the mystical portions of the creature. So dragons still have their magic because the one is still alive, but they lost their intelligence because the other one's dead.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Whereas the wyverns, they become totally bestial and they lost their magic, and then something is happening, and the book that starts to because I don't you might have thought about this, but the Highborn is a direct descendant of the two wyverns from the.
Yeah.
So that'll all be explored more in future books. I just wanted to I don't know that's that's kind of my thought process behind all that.
That's cool. I will say, I'm excited to see where you go with the world building because it was very interesting to me. And I like having dragons and wyverns. I don't think I've seen that so much before, like having these different species. People tend to just go like plain dragon and stick with it.
Yeah, I wanted to specifically people are so used to Dragon Riders as the good guys, and that's it. And if even if there are Dragon Rider villains, there's still Dragon Rider good guys fighting the Dragon Rider villains. I wanted to be, at least in the first book, every single Dragon Rider is a villain. And and the wyverns and our protagonists are the good guys, and they have to stop the evil dragons. There is a second POV that will be introduced in book 2 that ties into the other thing I just talked about.
Very exciting. I think we may
So,
be out of time, but we may get away with
oh,
going a little bit over.
okay. Anything else? Okay. Villain. What did you think of the villain? The High Lord, Military.
I wasn't a huge advocate.
It's okay.
I I tend to like my villains a little grayer than I can't remember his name. The High Lord. Something.
Yeah, Military. So I will say I purposely led with the first High Lord is the villain in book 1 being him because he's the most tropey. I'm evil, rah, and I just serve this guy, and that's all I care about. I wanted to give like a very template feeling villain to experience the world with against the other High Lords introduced in the epilogue. Definitely spice things up a little more in the gray. I wanted to
Okay.
make the other High Lords more unique, and the one from this book was the Emperor's like enforcer because which is a brute that basically adored the Emperor and wanted to do everything himself.
I mean, you've succeeded in what you were setting out to achieve. I think you've done a very, very good job of doing what you wanted to do with this book.
Mm-hmm.
And I genuinely do. I could see this being massively successful, genuinely. Because it is very similar to other things I've read that are massively successful, that I was like, this was okay.
My hope, I don't want to be the author who's trapped into one specific thing and everyone knows me for writing that specific genre and that specific style. I want to do some science fiction. I want to do some lit RPG. I've talked about this on another Discord server. I have an idea for a superhero horror. I don't know if it'd be a horror novella or a horror novel. Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
Discord server. How dare you?
I'm sorry. Hey, my man Maurice launched his Discord, and Cello's Gate's very popular, and I want to support and all the thing. I don't know. Anyways, but like, okay, so that's like that idea. I'm calling it Carrion because the villain, her power is when she devours the corpses of her victims, she gains their strength. And that's
I
the
thought you
same
said
for
you were
like,
calling it Karen.
no, nothing is a
I was like, that's a
Carrion.
terrible name. Okay, yeah.
No,
That I don't like horror, but
it's it'll be a superhero horror, so it's not gonna be like I
I
don't
don't
know.
like
I like
superheroes
to
much
play.
either, to be fair.
Okay, well, screw you then.
It sounds really good, but
No, I want to mess. My point is, I want to mess around with lots of different stuff. I even have a middle grade project I'm working on, just because I want to do lots of different things. Like Sun Wolves, I feel like you would say it has a very specific tone and is very different from To Ride the Wind, right?
yeah, and better as well. So
Those are also very the novellas are very character specific, like emotionally driven plots in comparison to this more grand kind of uh grand scale grand conflict.
yeah,
And I think it lends itself really well to people connecting with the characters more, which was also my hope. So I'm glad that that's worked out.
it has. It has.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think if there's any other fun projects I can talk about. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 different things within the same shared universe that To Ride the Wind is in. Like, technically, the Sunwolves are in the same joint universe. However, it is not the same world, so they're not going to see them interacting in either of those main
Yeah.
series. It's very, I guess you could say if the Cosmere is obviously the popular example of a shared universe with different series and etc. I don't know. I just want to do lots of different things, and To Ride the Wind was where I wanted to start with novels because I started my love for fantasy with the Aragon series, and so it's kind of my love letter to that whole subgenre.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work for everyone, but that's okay.
No, you genuinely nailed what you were trying to do, I think.
Well, thank you.
So it's a from an objective perspective, it's a very good book.
From a subjective perspective,
I didn't say anything about subjective perspectives.
no, I actually really I want to hear the negative too, though, so I know how I can improve. So I love talking about it in this way as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the negative things are me rather than you, I think. I do think we could have shot for a little further away from Aragon.
I'm hoping to spice it up a little bit. I will say the series, for example, is also progression fantasy and just hasn't tied into that very much yet.
Okay. I didn't see that coming, I'll be honest. But I
Yeah,
haven't read a lot of progression fantasy.
okay. I'm not gonna. It's not really because okay. Spoiler talk for Try the Wind again. This whole section. Sorry, guys. In the book when it talks about the high soul, which is the bond, the bond that was created when Rhaenyra and Valen were unbound. That is how they have to cultivate that. In the way of like progression. So like they have to develop that, and it has different phases to that progression that leads to them becoming stronger. Like
Cool.
the events of the showdown with the patriarch, specifically involve Rhaenyra and Valen's high soul taking in the element of wind and it becoming a core piece of their high soul. And so they have to. There's going to be a lot that goes into it. I'm developing that portion of it more now as I get ready to do the second book. But I wanted to tie in progression because I thought it would be a fun way to bring a little different into it. And I also wanted to. I wanted to start from a very familiar place, but I want the series to go its own way, starting with the second book, if that makes sense.
Second book sounds like I would enjoy it more than the first, from what you've told me.
The other POV I'm excited about, female POV. She is related to the Emperor. So I'm excited about that one.
Interesting.
Yes. She is essentially imperial royal bloodline. This individual hates what her family has done, hates what the empire has become. And because of proving herself to a specific subset of people that are mentioned in passing several times, and you met someone who was half of this in the book, they bless her with a dragon egg that was preserved from before the the prelude happened. So like it was a very special dragon egg, and it was preserved by the natural magic of these people, and so that is why it's not an evil, stupid dragon.
before the prelude happened. So that's in like the copyright section.
Yes. Yeah, it was in there. He said it's a really small print.
Can't believe I missed that.
So I didn't. I want to just keep blabbing, but I also don't want to just start spoiling things.
We can end the recording and blab.
True. Well, if we're gonna, it's been an hour and 10, so we've had recorded a good amount here. Thank you guys for tuning in to the InkDragon Podcast. We're gonna go talk about stuff without you now.
Go and read To Ride the Wind.
Thank you.
It's great, especially if you liked Aragon. Go and read it. If you thought Aragon was a bit low in quality, but you liked the concepts and things going on, which I think is valid, this is higher quality, in my opinion, than Aragon. Go read it.
If you don't like that, if you don't like that stuff, you can read my other series that is, according to Hat, better.
It's so good. It's so good. Okay.
Thanks again for tuning in. Subscribe to the InkDragon Podcast and also our individual channels, because we're both cool, and he posts more stuff than me, but I'm going to be getting back into posting stuff soon because my life stuff is starting to subside. Anyways,
yay.
Have a great time, whether it's day, morning, night, whatever. Love you. Peace.
Bye.
Ich lauf durch Blocks, alles kalt, alles echt. Augen auf den Preis, jeder Move perfekt.